Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Units of the CAF, the series where we dive into the storied regiments and units of the Canadian Armed Forces. I'm your host, Mario Gaudet, former Army Reservist and proud military brat, and it is cold in the bunker today. In our third episode, we are putting the spotlight on one of Canada's most legendary infantry units, the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry, or PPCLI, sometimes referred to as the Patricias or the Pats. This regiment has over a century of history, from the battles of World War I to the hills of Afghanistan. Today, we're going to be exploring their history, their uniforms, their cap badge, their roles in major conflicts, and we're also going to try and shed some light on some of their most decorated soldiers. Are you ready? Let's march on in. Early history. The Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry was born out of patriotism and philanthropy at the dawn of the First World War. On August 10, 1914, just days after Britain declared war on Germany, Captain Andrew Hamilton Galt, a wealthy Montreal businessman and Boer War veteran, offered to personally finance and raise a regiment at his own expense to the tune of $100,000, equivalent to millions today. The Canadian government accepted, and the unit was authorized that very day. What made this regiment unique from the start was its namesake, Princess Patricia of Connaught, the daughter of Canada's Governor-General, the Duke of Connaught. Princess Patricia graciously allowed her name to be used and even designed the regiment's original cap badge and presented their regimental color, a crimson flag with the gold VP for Victoria Patricia, embroidered by her own hand. This flag, known as the Ricadam Du, which is a Gaelic phrase meaning cloth of thy mother, would become a sacred symbol, carried into battle and riddled with bullet holes. The recruitment was swift and selective. Galt sought experienced men. Over 1,000 veterans from the Boer War and British campaigns flocked to Ottawa's Lansdowne Park. By August 19th, the battalion was at full strength, 1,098 men strong. Their first parade was on August 23, 1914, where Princess Patricia inspected them. Equipped with Canadian-made Ross rifles and Colt pistols, they shipped out from Quebec on September 27, arriving in England for training. By December 21, 1914, they were in France, the first and only Canadian infantry regiment in the theater that year. Under British command initially, they joined the Canadian Corps in 1915, setting the stage for a legacy of excellence. Peculiarities of the uniform specific to this unit. Now let's talk about what sets the PPCLI apart visually. Like many Canadian regiments, they wear the standard scarlet full-dress tunic, but with distinctive French grey facings on the collar and cuffs, a nod to their light infantry roots and a subtle elegance that distinguishes them from other units. Their dress uniform also features white piping and unique shoulder titles reading PPCLI in curved brass. In the field, the Pats have historically adapted quickly. During World War I, they ditched the unreliable Ross rifle for the British Lee Enfield, but kept their Canadian Colt 45 pistols for officers and NCOs, a rare holdover. Post-World War II, as they embraced airborne roles, their uniforms incorporated parachute wings and maroon berets for the qualified jumpers, emphasizing their elite status. Today, as mechanized light infantry, they sport the CAD-PAT combat uniform. Unlike most units, the PPCLI's regimental color, the Ricadam Du, isn't just symbolic, it's battle-worn, with actual shrapnel damage from World War I, making it the only such standard in the Canadian Forces that is so decorated. It is paraded on special occasions, a tangible link to their origins. History of the Cap Badge. The Cap Badge is a crown jewel of PPCLI identity, literally designed personally by Princess Patricia in 1914. It features her coronet atop, encircled by a red ring inscribed Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. At its heart is a Margaret Daisy, a touching tribute to Margaret Stevens, Hamilton Galt's fiancée and later wife, as Marguerite means daisy in French. Early versions were made of brass or copper, evolving through the wars. During the interwar period, a copper variant was common, and by World War II, it standardized to its current form. The badge symbolizes royal patronage, personal sacrifice, and regimental pride worn on berets, helmets, and service caps. It's not just insignia, it's a reminder of the unit's unique founding as a privately raised force, a beacon of its continuity amid a century of change. World War I. The Patricias' baptism by fire came in 1915. Attached to the British 27th Division, they held the line at the Second Battle of Ypres, defending Bellewaerde Ridge during the Battle of Fresenberg on May 8th. Outnumbered, they repelled German assaults with bayonets and shovels, reducing from 700 to just 150 men in one day. But they held. This grit earned them a reputation as shock troops. Joining the 3rd Canadian Division, they fought at Mount Sorel in 1916, the Somme, Vimy Ridge in 1917, where they spearheaded the assault, and the mud of Passchendaele, capturing key objectives amid horrific conditions. In 1918, they broke the Hindenburg Line and pursued to the Mons, entering the city on Armistice Day. By war's end, they'd suffered 1,272 killed and earned 24 battle honors. The most decorated soldier from this era was Sergeant George Harry Mullen, VC-MM. Born in Portland, Oregon, but serving with the Pats, Mullen earned the military medal early on. At Passchendaele in 1917, he single-handedly captured a German pillbox, killing the defenders and taking prisoners under heavy fire, saving countless lives. His Victoria Cross citation praised his most daring reconnaissance and brilliant capture. Mullen survived the war and later became a farmer in Saskatchewan. World War II. Mobilized in 1939 as part of the 1st Canadian Infantry Division, the Pats trained in England for 3 years before action. They landed in Sicily on July 10, 1943, during Operation Husky, capturing Leon Fort in fierce fighting and pushing into the mainland Italy. They battled at the Moro River. They battled at Ortona as well, a brutal Christmas 1943 house-to-house fight. And they broke the Hitler line in May 1944, aiding the advance to Rome. They then assaulted the Gothic line, taking San Fortunato and Rimini. In 1945, they transferred to Northwest Europe. They helped liberate the Netherlands, capturing Apeldoorn and becoming the first Allied troops into Amsterdam on May 7th. The regiment earned 18 battle honors with heavy losses but unbreakable spirit. The most decorated from this era was Major John Kiefer Mahoney, VC. Commanding a company at the River Gari in Italy on May 24, 1944, Mahoney held a vital bridgehead against overwhelming German counterattacks despite being wounded multiple times. Refusing evacuation, he directed fire and inspired his men for 36 hours until he was relieved. His VC citation called it superb gallantry. Mahoney survived and later worked in Veterans Affairs. The Cold War era. The Cold War saw the Pats evolve into a versatile force. Post-1945, they became Canada's first peacetime parachute battalion in 1949, emphasizing mobility. In Korea, 1950 to 1953, the 2nd Battalion arrived in December 1950 and made history at Kapyong in April 1951. Outnumbered 10-1 by Chinese forces, they held Hill 677 for days, repelling waves with artillery and bayonets and preventing a breakthrough to Seoul. This earned the U.S. Presidential Unit Citation, the only Canadian unit to be so honored. Through the 1950s to 1990s, they had rotations to West Germany, where NATO deterred Soviet threats, while also peacekeeping in Cyprus with 12 tours from 1968 to 1993. In 1993, during the Yugoslav Wars, they fought in the Medak Pocket, the first Canadian combat since Korea. The most decorated soldier I could find from this era was Sergeant Tommy Prince, MMSSM. An Ojibwe from Manitoba, Prince joined the 2nd Battalion for Korea after his World War II heroics with the Devil's Brigade. At Kapyong and on patrols, he earned the Military Medal for bravery in reconnaissance, adding to his Silver Star and 6 other decorations from World War II. He is Canada's most decorated Indigenous veteran, and he embodied resilience despite post-war struggles. Afghanistan. From 2002 to 2014, the Patricias were at the front of Canada's longest war. The 3rd Battalion deployed first in February 2002 for Operation Apollo, joining U.S. forces in Kandahar. They fought in Operation Anaconda, hunting Al-Qaeda in the Shahiqat Valley, and Operation Harpoon, destroying enemy bunkers. Tragically, 4 Patricias died in the 2002 Tarnak Farm friendly fire incident. Under Operation Athena, rotations continued. Reconnaissance in Kabul from 2004 to 2005, then intense combat in Kandahar. The 1st Battalion in 2006 led Operation Medusa, clearing the Taliban strongholds in Panjwai amid fierce fighting. Further tours in 2008 and 2009 to 2010 involved counterinsurgency, training Afghan forces, and sniper operations where Patricias set the world record for the longest confirmed kill. By 2014, they earned commendations for valor in a grueling campaign. The most decorated was Warrant Officer Tower, SMP. In 2008, during Taliban ambush in Zari district, Tower exposed himself multiple times to enemy gunfire to direct his platoon, suppressing attackers and evacuating wounded under grenades and RPGs. His Star of Military Valor, Canada's 2nd highest award, cited undaunted leadership. From a philanthropist's vision to elite warriors, the Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry remain a pillar in the CAF today. Battle-tested, innovative, and unbreakable. Thanks again for joining me for another episode of Units of the CAF. If you have anything to add, or if I've missed anything or made any mistakes, please mention it in the comments below and I'll pin the important ones. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe in order to help the channel. And until next time, have a good one, eh?